Morning, everybody. Just want to give you guys the weekly update. So stocks have been up this week specifically because of the potential Pfizer vaccine. I think it's a little bit overdone just because they basically said that it's 90% effective on the small amount of samples that they have. Anybody that's a statistics major knows that that's not really reasonable. But stocks have been up. But I think this is important to kind of talk about. Number one, if you notice that the actual NASDAQ, which is that tracks technological stocks, is actually down on the week, right? So what does that mean? That means if you're holding Amazon, for example, you lost 5%. If you're holding Zoom, for example, you lost 19%. So I think this is probably a good conversation and something, just a gem for you guys. Your portfolio can't just be a bunch of tech stocks, right? That is not going to give you any proper diversification. You want to make sure that you have some good other reasonable sectors. There's a ton of sectors you can invest in, but it doesn't have to always be tech stocks. And this is one of those reasons why, right? Because while everybody was doing well this week, you lost money. So just make sure that your whole portfolio isn't just about tech stocks all day long. The other thing, as an update is the stimulus package that's going through Congress right now. It's still at a stalemate. Republicans still want about 650 billion. Democrats want 2.4 trillion. So you can see they're relatively way off, right, in terms of negotiating. On top of that, Democrats are actually in a worse position than they were a few weeks ago from a negotiating standpoint. Again, everybody's focusing on Trump losing the presidency, but like I've been telling you guys over and over again, watch the Congress. House Democrats actually lost seats in the House. And there's no blue wave in the Senate, right? So everything's going to come down to Georgia, as you guys been seeing on TV. But this actually puts Democrats at a real disadvantage. So Nancy Pelosi, for example, who's been leading the charge and having discussions for the stimulus, is actually in a very terrible negotiating pattern right now, right? So just be careful on that. You may not get the stimulus package, or we may not get the stimulus package that we think we're going to get, which is going to influence the markets. The third thing is the risk of a national shutdown for everybody. So what I mean by that is in March, we basically shut down the country, right? We pulled the valve and basically turned off the engine and said, okay, let's see what happens. And they thought that the economy was just going to do this. And in reality, that's not necessarily what happened because they pumped a ton of money into the system. Well, with a Democratic president, and that administration coming in, they're probably going to be more likely to shut the economy down again if the cases start to rise, which you're starting to see around the country. It is. What does that mean from a markets perspective? You're going to see stocks tank. I'm just keeping it 100. It is what it is, regardless of your political views or not. If they shut down the economy again going into January, you will see stocks drop. So be aware of that. Elections have consequences, obviously, and I'm sure there's reasonable reasons why you would. But from a portfolio perspective, you may want to make sure you're protecting yourself and get cash ready during that period. So maybe you can have buying opportunities. So for all of you who are investing, that's just my little nugget for this week. If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to subscribe and like the video. The other thing is for all those folks who are, continuing their debt-free journey, keep pushing, keep moving forward, keep doing your thing. Don't give up. I'll leave you guys with a bit of advice. A part of all that you earn is yours to keep, right? A part of all that you earn is yours to keep. So every time you get paid, make sure you're making yourself a priority. I'll see you guys next time.